Hello all and welcome to Duplicate Success International Monday night webinar. Today is Monday, January 11th. My name is Randy Krebs, Executive Goal Director from Salt Lake City, Utah. I have the distinct honor of introducing the host of tonight's webinar. He is a very well-respected business leader and mentor in this industry. You'll definitely want to have your pen and paper out, sitting up, paying attention, and taking notes as you learn how this industry expert continues to build his business successfully. He has achieved the rank of Executive Ruby Director within our company. He is the co-founder of Duplicate Success International. He is an amazing leader, mentor, and most importantly, I'm very proud to call him my son. Jared, are you on the line?
I am, Dad. Thank you so much for the great introduction. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, I want to welcome everybody who is on this webinar. I see a lot of people on, and I'm excited about the content tonight. I'm excited for our guest speaker, $1 Million Club member Brian Penrod. I'm excited to recognize all of our success in this past week. I'm really proud of each and every one of you on the team. I want to welcome all the new people to the webinar. If this is your first time being on, I've been with USANA for over 10 years, and it's been a total blessing in my life, both from the financial end and in the health end. And I just want to welcome you to our team and, look around, enjoy it, ask any questions. This is how we train our team every Monday night. And so we always start off by going over our daily method of operation. We call it our team DMO. If you do these 4 things, you're going to be successful. I have people working part-time, and even in 5 to 10 hours a week, they're making consistent checks. They're making more than they've made at a part-time job. I have some people who've already replaced their income and no longer, they've actually replaced their full-time job income. So they do it by doing the DMO. And if you do these 4 things every day, you can be successful in this type of business. Number 1 is to get in state. Read your goals and visualize your dreams twice daily with emotion. I do this every morning, every evening. When I'm brushing my teeth, it's in my bathroom, all my goals, I go over them. And that's the number 1 thing every day. Number 2, use your products every day, AM and PM. Be a product of the product. Number 3, read, watch, or listen to 15 minutes of personal development material daily. And if you are on this webinar, you are doing your 15 minutes right now. Reading is the best, reading some information about how to build a successful business, like the GoPro books, audios, webinars, anything to improve at least 15 minutes a day. Our best people study about an hour a day. I like to also do it when I'm driving around. And number 4, add 2 brand new people to your contact list and invite them with a text message or call. They say 2 a day brings freedom your way. And if it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. But I can tell you the compound effect, just by inviting 2 people a day, 5 to 6 days a week, you will have invited over 600 people to see a video throughout the year. And do you think your business will be growing if you invited 600 people throughout the year? Absolutely. What do you say? Well, here's an example text script. This is something I just sent out to one of my friends on Facebook Private Messenger. Her name's Iris. And here it is. I said, Iris, the company I work with part-time came out with a new 12-minute YouTube video. We need to practice it on some friends. Would you be willing to watch it and let me call you afterwards to ask a few questions? That's it. And guess what Iris said? Sure, Jared, I'd be happy to send over the link. So I sent her this link right here. This is a quick link that we created for our team, and it's usana.teamdsi.info. And this is the new video. It's called This Is USANA. It's a 12-minute video. It is fantastic. I love it. It's only been out for, I believe, 4 or 5 days. It already has close to 25,000 views because everybody in the company is excited. It explains USANA in 12 minutes. And so my prospect is going to watch this, and then I will call her afterwards, and I will ask her a few questions from our closing form. If you're brand new and you don't know what that is, you definitely want to have your mentor help you with that closing form and even have them on a 3-way call. But 2 a day brings freedom your way. If you open the conversation with 2 people, give someone a chance to improve their life with USANA, it always comes back tenfold. And so that is our team DMO. And I just wanted to zoom in on the invite script. If you're watching this webinar and you want to screenshot this little script, this is literally what I say at least twice a day, either in person or via text or Facebook Messenger. And it goes, the company I work with part-time came out with a new 12-minute YouTube video. We need to practice on some friends. Would you be willing to watch it and let me call you afterwards to ask a few questions? few quick questions. So that's it. That's as easy as it is. And you do those 4 things, you're going to bring freedom your way. Okay, so let's get into our team recognition. And I want to first of all welcome our new clients that just started with our team this past week. First of all, I want to welcome new client Lovita Wagner, introduced by Diane Hecht. Great job, Diane, out there in the USANA Northwest in the Bend, Oregon area, or Lapine, Oregon, I should say. Also welcome Kelly Smith, new client introduced by Diane Hecht. Great job, Diane. Also welcome Marianne Valencia, new client introduced by myself and my wife, Crystal. Marianne is actually one of Crystal's coworkers at MAC Cosmetics, and she's expecting a baby girl in February. So she's very wise to start on her USANA products, and welcome Marianne. Also welcome Ernest and Tina Martinez, new client introduced by Renee and Megan Martinez. This is actually Renee's brother and sister-in-law, and they're starting on the Reset, and we're very excited for them to have great results on the Reset Challenge. Welcome, Ernest and Tina. Also welcome Joseph and Kelly Warnken, new clients introduced by Renee and Megan Martinez. Joseph and Kelly live in Pleasanton, Texas, and they own Wilco Peanut Manufacturing Company. So they actually run a big family-owned company. It's really cool how they work with peanuts, and I'm not exact. I think they prepare them to be made in by the big manufacturers like Payday, etc. Really cool. Nice to meet them, and look forward to them having great results with USANA. Great job, Renee and Megan. Okay, and I want to get into some special recognition. Each week we recognize our team members who made the weekly reports, and these weekly reports are sent out by USANA's corporate office. These are the people in the United States market that had the best week, and our very own Melita Sheets was top 50 associate sponsor in the whole United States market last week. And Melita lives in Portland, Oregon, and I want to bring Melita on the phone. Dad, are you able to unmute Melita? Dad, is Melita there? Okay, Melita.
Hello.
Hey, congratulations. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know I was there.
You didn't even know you were there.
I didn't even know.
Now I hear it. So am I on speaker, Melita?
What was that?
Am I on speaker?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you take me off?
1 second.
Okay. I don't know if you're able to take me off speakerphone or not, Melita.
Your line is now unmuted.
Let me see.
Melita.
Yes.
Okay, there's an echo.
Oh, there's an echo.
You have to
How do you
take
get rid
off
of
speaker.
How do you get that thing out? Let me see. Oh my goodness. Hold on.
I just want to give you a message, Melita. Go ahead and put her on that, just because we need to keep the webinar moving. Melita, I just want to tell you, I am very proud of you. I've been watching you grow over the last 6 months. I've been seeing you overcome several challenges. I've been seeing you enroll your sister from the Philippines, taking our business global. I've been seeing you overcome all these different challenges, helping new clients start with USANA, helping new associates. I just want you to know how proud I am of all that you've accomplished. You are doing a great, great job with our team. Thank you, Melita. I also want to thank our entire team for all their commitment to their business. Me and Crystal were actually number 5 top earning Ruby directors last week in the United States market, and we couldn't be there without our team. So we really appreciate all of your hard work and everything you do for your USANA business. And I want to tell you about an incentive that our company is holding. It's called Free Starter Kits. When you start with a USANA business, there's always the $29.95 fee, and that's your BDS Starter Kit. That stands for Business Development System. Well, if you have any associates start between January 6th and January 31st, they will get their $29.95 fee waived, and they will still receive their free BDS starter kit. That's just really cool. It's a great incentive for everybody to enroll between now and January 31st. That $29.95 fee will be waived, and it's just a great thing to do. So if you're looking at this and you're considering starting with us, this is definitely great timing. Lastly, before we get into the Reset Challenge update, I just want to encourage you to add your new clients to the USANA Clients page. And this is a private page to our team. We call it USANA Clients page. And when you enroll a brand new client, you want to add them right here. Then you want to make a post and put a picture and welcome them to the USANA Clients family. Why would you want to do that? So that you can build a community. You know, our top competition is not another network marketing company. It's actually Whole Foods. Why would your client buy products from USANA rather than going over to Whole Foods? It's because they love you and they feel like they're part of a community. And when you make a post and you honor your clients and you make them feel special for being your clients, they're going to want to stay. And if they see a bunch of clients starting every week, they're going to think, wow, this USANA is great. And then they can ask questions and it starts to grow. So I want to really encourage you to add people to the USANA Clients Facebook page for your clients. We also have a page called Team DSI, Duplicate Success International, for our business side. If you have a client that wants to do their homework and learn more about how money is made, you can add them right here. Also, when you have a new associate, you can make a post with their picture and invite them and welcome them to the associate family. And obviously, an associate you're going to want to also add to the clients page so that they can add their clients. So that's our two Facebook groups. These are private to our team. And they're designed for you to recognize your new clients and associates and create great community. There's a third group called Hybrid Solutions. This is associates only. When you enroll a brand new associate, you can add them here. There's over 6,000 members, and this is the USANA family at large. There's associates from all 23 different countries in this group, and it's great if you need a story. For example, if you need a product story, you can go under Search This Group. And on the right, where I put the red box, it says Search This Group. You can type in, diabetes or allergies and get a story. Now, USANA is not a cure for any of those things, but if you want to have some, maybe a success story or a testimonial from somebody who's taken the products, you can always do a search and find your answer. Okay, so before we get into our guest speaker, I want to just give you guys the Team DSI Reset Challenge participants. And I want to just give you the update. So we're going to take a little 3-second break and for editing purposes, because we're going to edit this part of our webinar. So here we go. Okay, this short video is going to walk you through our Team DSI Reset Challenge participants so far here in 2016. And if you're watching this video and you have not yet participated or made your profile, you can certainly do so anytime during the Reset Challenge as well. But first, I just want to welcome all these wonderful people. Welcome Phyllis Walker from Salt Lake City, Utah. Welcome Diana Holderness from Payson, Utah. Welcome Pamela Holderness from Payson, Utah. Welcome Matthew Holderness from Payson, Utah. Great job, Payson, Utah. Welcome Betty Meyer from Draper, Utah. Welcome Becky Armstrong from Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome Joey and Kelly Warnkin from Pleasanton, Texas. Ernest and Argentina Martinez from Poteet, Texas. Kimberly Martinez from Poteet, Texas. Mike Parisa from Pleasanton, Texas. James Pritchett from Pleasanton, Texas. Liz Spade from Rockford, Illinois. Johnny Alanis from Pleasanton, Texas. Joelda Trevino from Round Rock, Texas. Roseanne Vega Carrillo from San Antonio, Texas. Shell Miller from Pleasanton, Texas. Nice picture, Shell. Renee and Margie Martinez from Poteet, Texas. April Allison Luna from Lubbock, Texas. Jennifer Livermore from Bend, Oregon. Victoria Horman from San Antonio, Texas. Renee and Megan Martinez from Pleasanton, Texas. Randy and Viola Krebs from Salt Lake City, Utah. Myself, I'm participating, Jared Krebs from San Antonio, Texas. That's me at my favorite CrossFit gym, best place to work out, Viper CrossFit. Of participating in the Reset Challenge. If your picture is not there, you can still register. I'm going to show you how after I go over these testimonials. But these are last year's winners. And I just want to say that winning is possible. I mean, here's Cheryl. She lost 14 pounds. That's not a lot of weight. I mean, a lot of our team members have lost more than 14 pounds and they didn't win the trip. Okay, so how do you win this trip? Well, look, Cheryl has a nice picture of a major newspaper. She took a before picture. You can win the trip by writing a good essay. It's possible that that's how she won. But, you know, she lost 14 pounds and she won the Reset Challenge. So you can do that, especially by writing a good essay. Here's Liliana. She lost 24 pounds. She looks great, by the way. We've had a lot of people lose 24 pounds. And again, you can win this trip just like Liliana did last year. Dr. John here lost 26 pounds. And there he is, his before and after picture. Great job, Dr. John. Here's Devin. He lost 31 pounds. Great job, Devin. Here's Madeline. She lost 47 pounds. And this is over a 90-day period. So that's really impressive. She looks like a totally different person. Great job, Madeline. They're giving away the prizes based on the percentage of weight loss. They're giving the prizes away on the 3 best essays. And also the top 3 people who lost most weight as in the men and female and couples category. So I'll go over that, but there's a lot of winners. They're giving away 18 trips to Sonaviv Medical Institute. Here's Karina. She lost 63 pounds in 90 days. You look great, Karina. Here is Gary. Lost 43 pounds in 90 days. Great job, Gary. Wow, looking slim and trim. Here's Craig. He lost 50 pounds in 90 days. Great job, Craig. Asher lost 53 pounds in 90 days. Amazing. Great job, Asher. Here's Anna. Lost 41 pounds in 90 days. You look amazing, Anna. Vicente, 64 pounds in 90 days. Wow. Pooja, 58 pounds in 90 days. She totally looks like a different person as well. Great job, Pooja. Neil, 42 pounds in 90 days. Totally, the gut is gone. Way to go, Neil. Okay, so those were the winners last year, and they're giving away 3 prizes to the top 3 men who lose the most percentage of weight loss, 3 to the top 3 women, and then 3 to the top 3 couples. Okay, so if you do the math there, that's 3, 6, 9, 12 people there. They're giving away another 3 trips to Mexico for the 3 top people who lost the most weight. And then they're giving away 3 for the people who give the best story and testimony of their experience. So again, you could win if you write a good essay. You don't have to lose the most weight. Of course, if you're going for percentage of weight loss, if you have a lot of weight to lose or total weight loss, you can win those as well. You can also enroll in both categories. In other words, I can enroll as a person and I can like as a single man, and then I can also enroll with my wife as a couple. So you can, I'm going to show you where to go to find out all the rules. But again, the 3 best in each category win the grand prize. And you're asking, what is the grand prize? Well, here it is. It's a 4-day health and spa getaway at Sonaviv Health Retreat in Rosarito, Mexico. This is right south of San Diego. This is the old Levi Strauss mansion. It was converted into a health institute. It is a beautiful getaway. Your flight will be paid for. You get a $150 spending spree, and you 4 days of the best health treatments you can possibly get. And it's an amazing, amazing trip. Both of my parents have visited this place. They did not win the trip. They paid to go to the trip. But this is a personal goal of mine to go to Sonaviv, and it's going to be great. I'm excited for everyone who's going to win this. Experience Sonaviv. That's going to be your view, by the way. You're going to look out into the ocean, and that is what your view will look like. You enjoy heated saltwater pools, spa treatments, personalized nutrition programs, personalized medical consultation. Enjoy 4 nights in a balcony suite, unparalleled care by the best medical staff in the world. I'm excited about this. Now, if you register your progress, you can win these gifts during the challenge. So the first 1,000 people that lose 3% of their weight weight loss is going to get a Reset Edition blender bottle, limited edition. They are very cool blender bottles. No one else gets them. You cannot buy them. So when you go to your USANA meetings and your USANA parties, you'll be the only one with a cool limited edition Reset blender bottle. I wish I had one. That's my goal. I want to win. First 1,000 people. 5% weight loss is the Reset Go Stack, which holds like all your vitamins and underneath a blender bottle. Really cool prize. And that's the first 500. 10% weight loss, you get an OGO Sport Bag. They're going to draw weekly for 10. 15% weight loss, $100 gift card. They're drawing weekly for 5. And then 25% weight loss, you're in a drawing for a sports watch. And that's a weekly drawing for one person. So really exciting. Cool prizes you can win at every phase. So what's your action plan? How can you get started on the Reset Challenge, and how can you share this with the people you love? Well, it's pretty simple. Number one, you just go to resetnationchallenge.com. And if you're a preferred customer, you can go ahead and log in with your preferred customer ID and password, your USANA preferred customer ID and password. Or as an associate, you'd use your associate ID and password. So either one. This is for preferred customers and associates. Now take your before picture and upload your starting weight starting this Friday, January 15th, Saturday the 16th, or Sunday the 17th. This little weekend is the best time to upload your before picture and enter your starting weight. Now, if you're watching this video and it's like 2 weeks later or even a month or two later, you can still play. You can still upload a before picture. You can still upload your starting weight. You don't have to start at the very beginning to play. Obviously, odds of winning are better if you start at the beginning, but this is going for 3 months. So people can also start it late. But you who are watching this webinar in advance, I want to encourage you this Friday to get your before picture done and your starting weight inputted into your profile. Just go to resetnationchallenge.com and follow the directions there. Now, the Reset Challenge starts officially Monday, January 18th. Okay, so that's a week from today, because today is Monday, January 11th. Now, you might be asking, how should the before picture look? If you want to win, you have to follow the directions. And that's one of the things what I think I realized when I saw the results is, hey, we have team members who've lost more weight than these other people who won. But did you follow the directions? A lot of people play this and they don't follow the directions. So how can your before picture look to win? Here's an example. Wear form-fitting clothes and have a major newspaper that's current, obviously, to that day, and that's it. Okay, so that's a before picture example for a female. Here's another one. Obviously, it's a form-fitting clothes. Your before picture is not supposed to look good anyways. So if you're embarrassed by your before picture, you can take it in private and just put it up. No one else has to see it. But that's how you win. For men, this would be a good before picture. So you just want to do it, get your before picture done, have fun with this. Also help your clients do this if they're not, if they don't know the technology or if they're having a hard time. You can, meet them. And here's some fun options with your most important clients and associates. You could host a weigh-in event or a reset party this week. We have several going on, in our local areas. But, you could take their picture in a private area, help them upload it, enter their starting weight online. A lot of people probably want to do their picture in private. So if you're going to do it as a group, you could have a room in the back and people could weigh in and do their pictures. Make a plan with them and provide accountability via texts or calls. Once this reset this reset challenge starts, you're going to want to definitely with your clients and associates, text them, how was your day? How's your reset going? And just create a community. Communicate effectively. I want to say communicate massively. With long distance clients, call them, text them, do whatever you can to make sure that their pic is form fitting. They've taken it with a major newspaper and they upload it by this weekend. Your long distance clients can win. One of our personal team members, Chris Lampy, actually won this 3 years ago. He lost 45 pounds in 90 days. He followed the directions and he went on a beautiful trip to Mexico. So we've had team members of our own team win this. And the last step is to join our private Facebook group. So this is to our team. And if you're watching this webinar, you're already part of this group, but it's called 2016 USANA Reset Challenge for Team DSI and make a post and welcome them. Add them there in the red box. Add your new team member to this private group, and then also make a picture post and put them onto the webinar onto the private group, because this is where our community is going to be built for the next 90 days. I cannot wait to see people's transformations. We have so many people that are doing this, and hopefully a lot more by this weekend. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please contact the person who sent you this video so they can help you get your Reset profile set up. Again, the website is resetnationchallenge.com, and I hope you have a wonderful experience doing the Reset Challenge and having great results. Okay, so now we're going to transition into our special guest, and we're very, very blessed to have this gentleman on the line with us. Brian Penrod is a 5-star diamond director. And those of you who are brand new, you might be wondering, well, what does that mean? That means that for 4 consecutive weeks in his business, he made over 9,000 CVP. And what that is basically 9,000 US dollars for 4 weeks in a row. Okay, and that's not just one, I mean, that's just one way that he was paid, because USANA has leadership bonus and so on and so forth. So Brian is one of the true superstars in USANA. He's a foundation executive 5-star diamond director, meaning that he helped build the foundation of USANA. He's been with USANA in his 17th year. So he's currently in his 17th year, but over the last 16 years, he has helped thousands of people. He's created many leaders and earned over $9 million with USANA. He's truly a special person. We are all in his organization, by the way. Brian is the mentor to my mentor, and Brian has been a mentor of mine for the last 10 years as well. And one thing I love about Brian is that he always speaks life into people. I've never heard him say anything bad about anyone. He always speaks life into people, and I believe that's why he's been so successful over his 17 years with USANA, and why he's so well respected in the company. So we have Brian on the line, and I just wanted to bring him on right now and have him share his story with our team. And Dad, are you able to unmute Brian?
I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we hear you, Brian. Welcome to the call.
Well, I've got to start off by saying that I've got quite a number of leaders in my business internationally, but there's not a leader on my team that I'm not more proud of than Jared Krebs and his wife, Crystal. And there's several reasons why. The level of commitment that he and his wife, Crystal, have made to all of you is unmatched. And I have no problem letting any of my other leaders know this. In fact, I retired into a semi-retirement mode for building my USANA business for nearly 5 years, and the company just kept paying us until I began building my business again this last year. And there are certain building strategies and methods of operation that Jared and Crystal implement, so much so that I even look to Jared and Crystal as mentors in those areas that are helping me to become an elite professional in this industry again. So I just want to say thank you to Jared for being so committed to your team. You are setting your business is on fire, and you're setting and blazing a trail in USANA that people are talking about all over, not just the United States, but just around the world. So congratulations to you. And if you're in their organization, with probably every single one of you are that's on this call right now, you may not quite understand how blessed you are to have Jared and Crystal as your upline mentors, and they're so committed to you. So just once again, I wanted to say thank you to Jared.
Wow, thank you so much, Brian. I really appreciate the kind words, and feel very blessed to have you on the call as well.
So Jared had asked me to share a little bit about my story, and, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what my life was like before USANA, so you can understand where I came from. I think my story is really about, it's kind of like, if the dream is big enough, the facts or your current circumstances, they don't really count if your dream is big enough. Prior to USANA, I'm 42 years old right now, but when I was 18 and pretty fresh out of high school, I was excited about playing soccer and was going to go play at a university, but they decided to cancel the team that year, that summer prior to the year beginning. So I had started waiting tables, and I was in the restaurant industry for probably about a total of about 6.5, 7 years. And during that time, I did what society had been promoting: go to college. I was going to college full time. I was working full time, living on my own full time from the age of 18. Start a career after that. But for me, while going to college, things just weren't adding up, and the results of what any career it seemed that people were pursuing after they got their degree, they just didn't seem to have the lifestyle, the time freedom, or the finances, let alone the health to be able to enjoy it lifelong. And while working in restaurants, I just kept meeting entrepreneurs that where I worked that had the lifestyles that people with jobs just didn't have. So I found myself around 19 years old searching for entrepreneurial advice from Success Magazine and other publications and networking events with entrepreneurs in different fields. Naively, I ended up joining I found out about network marketing actually when I was 19 years old. Didn't really understand it, and by the time I was 21 years old, naively, I joined my first network marketing company, and I didn't understand at the time that its compensation plan was literally decades old and just had a general overall pretty outdated business model. But I pursued that opportunity for 2.5 years, and while not developing any success, outward signs of success with regard to income, I became frustrated. I had lots of meetings with people where no one showed up. I don't know if any of you have ever had that challenge before, but I had lots of them. Once in a great while, I'd have a meeting with a person who was a business professional. But I was so, what's the word I'm looking for? I was actually pretty shy. I had a lot of fear, and it might have had to do with my age at the time, but that experience was so valuable to me because that's the company where I had heard from hundreds of leaders that had developed big successes back in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. I learned about how they did it, what they did. I learned about dreaming big, and there were some great times with it as well. I mean, I'd night after night after night, I would finish my shift. I'd go to the employee bathroom at the restaurant I worked at. I'd change from my waiter uniform into my business suit and go out prospecting and building my team. And this is actually the period of time in my life where I learned about two of your teams, Jared, your team's daily methods of operation. One of those being reading my goals with emotion in the morning and every evening, and reading at least a minimum of 15 to 30 minutes, or listening to 15 to 30 minutes every day of personal development information. And I both read and listened. I listened to thousands and thousands of audios that built my belief huge in the power of what this industry could produce. While there were, many months and even years of little to no tangible results that I could see, but the results were actually growing huge, even though they weren't seen by others, because the results were going on inside of me. I was changing, and I was developing my character. I was developing the characteristics of what it was going to take to become a champion in this business. And there was something that Jared talked a little bit earlier about, and that was the power of the compound effect. And I think it was those 2.5 years of no success in this industry, yet going through so much personal development that had the compound effect, because I never quit personal development no matter what. And but anyways, I got to a point in time where I had a life-changing pivotal moment where all 4 couples in my upline in that previous company ended up going through divorces. my new girlfriend, who is my current business partner, Monica, she ended up becoming pregnant, and I was still waiting tables and no longer building my network marketing business. So I felt like my life was being lived in a pressure cooker, and I knew I needed to make some big changes. So eventually, my previous sponsor in that company, he knew I was looking for a serious opportunity. In fact, I've been looking at dozens of them. And eventually, I got this magical phone call out of the blue. He was living in Houston, Texas, which is about a 3.5-hour drive. Where he lived was around 4 hours. And he said, Brian, he said, you need to be in Houston tomorrow. And I said, why? And he said, does it matter? And he goes, I have an opportunity you've got to look at. So I was committed. So that next day, I got off of work a little bit early, drove to Houston, sat me down, watched a couple of old VHS videos about USANA, very, 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 very old school. One was about Dr. Winston, the science, and the other one was about the compensation plan in the business. And I knew from that point in time forward that this, USANA, was going to be what I was going to do from now on. At that point in time, I was living in a one-bedroom apartment. Monica and I were not living together at that time. We didn't know what we were going to do. I had no furniture. The financial pressures of me holding down 2 jobs at the time. I had gotten my first ever sales job at the bottom of the rung at a Fortune 500 company that had just a small paying sales job during the day. I was back to waiting tables at night. Monica had another job waiting tables on the Riverwalk in San Antonio at Planet Hollywood, and that's when I started my USANA business. I hit the ground running with USANA. I started my business being teachable. If my upline offered advice, or we had a system at that point in time that had 10 steps, I made sure to follow every step. If my upline told me to build a names list of every single person I had ever known in my life, that's exactly what I did. Even if I had already shared my previous opportunity with them, I did it anyways. If they said purchase sales materials, in fact, I invested more money on my first order of sales materials in USANA than my 3 business center cost. And it took me 3 different ways to come up with enough money to start my 3 business center. I paid for about a third of it. I got a couple of advance orders of products from people to pay for another third of it. I remember I think I borrowed about a third of it from my dad and paid him back after I earned my first check. But that's when I decided to go into massive action mode in my business on a very limited part-time basis. And what I mean by massive action mode, part-time was, I didn't have a lot of time. I had 2 jobs going on. I had to, I was about 24, 25 years old at the time. And so when I had 15 minutes of a break at work, that meant I was making contacts. I was making phone calls. I was setting appointments. I was getting commitments from people to look at information about USANA. I was contacting those first weeks in USANA, my upline, to do follow-up calls with my prospects so I could get them on the phone with them because I wasn't an expert yet. My upline taught me the power of duplication, and they told me that, if I could get, at least, like Jared had said, 2 new people a day, 10 new candidates to look at information each and every week, and I did that week after week after week nonstop, that would, and then I eventually duplicated that to 4 people in my team, and they each did their own 10 people that they had as candidates per week and got them information. That would duplicate to 50 new exposures per week. And then taking that out, one step further, when each of my top 4 people, the first 4 people that joined my business, got their first 4 people after a while, that became, 210 new exposures per week. And I learned, like Jared, you may have heard from Jared Krebs say that a gram of action is worth a ton of knowledge. So that I started seeing that compound effect in action. There were weeks where I couldn't put a lot of effort into building my business because of these job responsibilities, but I found a way to do whatever it took. I remember my first training event, and it was at my apartment complex, Washateria. I had my entire organization show up, which was all 6 people, and it was raining, probably a harder rain than I think I'd ever seen in my city before. And I didn't know what to train on. I had no idea what I was doing at the time. I was like what you may have heard before of ignorance on fire. I had made some black and white copies of some of the sales materials and some of the information that I had been exposed to, and we went over it. Everybody was soaking wet. We were sitting on top of washers and dryers, but you know what? We had a dream, we had excitement, we had enthusiasm, and when you got enthusiasm, you don't have to have a lot of knowledge because people are attracted to enthusiasm. Things are great for me now, but there were definitely some good times, some great times, and some phenomenal times building my business, but there was also some challenging times those first years. I was committed. I remember one of my new associates had a new coach up in the Dallas, Texas area that had joined the business. And I remember getting off work around 4:30 or 5. I tried getting off a little bit early and driving as fast as I could to Dallas, Texas to do meetings by 8 o'clock at night in San Antonio. And then driving back, going out to eat with them a little bit afterwards, spending a little bit of time with them, getting back on the road around 10 o'clock at night, driving all the way back home, and sometimes stopping halfway just because I couldn't drive any further because of just being exhausted. Sometimes getting home and couldn't go. I didn't even have enough energy to walk up the stairs to my second floor apartment. I remember falling asleep one time and waking up the next morning, and somebody knocking on my car window and waking me up, and thank God they did that, so I was able to get to work on time. But I lived on the power of my dream, and I just kept going and going, and 2 people every day, adding new people to my list, and I remember how awesome it was eventually after about 11 months in the business, finally maximizing my first business center at 5,000 points left and right and earning my first reentry, and just how exciting that was. Being able to earn another position that I could place into my organization, and just a business center number 4, and just seeing that, wow, my big dream for years, even prior to USANA, was to become a diamond distributor, network marketing, and now I had at that point in time, I had, with earning that reentry, I had earned the 4 necessary business centers that it was going to take to be able to achieve my biggest dream. So there came a time where just about 2 months after that, I had actually invested 6 months prior to that point, writing out something I called my retirement letter, and I read it every day. It was one of those things that I read along with my goals in the morning and at night, just was envisioning the time I was going to be able to fire my boss. It was about 3 weeks after I joined USANA that I was able to leave my leave my night job waiting tables, but it was about 13 months into the business where I got to pick up my boss from the San Antonio airport one day, who was, visiting in town. He was a low-level vice president of the company I worked for, and I drove him to a local coffee shop, handed him my retirement letter. He read it, and that was when I fired my boss and let him know I didn't need him anymore and was able to pursue network marketing full-time. It was pretty exhilarating, and that was definitely an up in my business. And then there was another challenging time where 3 months after I went full-time, I had one of my toughest challenges ever. USANA had made actually a great choice. We were unmatched as we are today with our opportunity and compensation plan, but with an initiative that USANA decided to implement of dropping the prices of our products by around an average of about 30% so we could become competitive price-wise in the nutrition industry. and it was a good move for USANA, but my points ended up dropping about 30% as well in my business, and you know, I had considered getting to a point in time where, oh my gosh, am I going to need to get a night job? And you know, my check in USANA was $1,300 one week, maybe $800 the next, and I got a $200 check one week, and then back up to an $1,100 check, and you know, it was just it was off and on like that. And while my belief was huge, I had a little bit of a crisis of confidence, so to speak, and I remember considering, you know, am I going to go get this night job? And I was even considering I knew if I was going to go get another job again, which was something I definitely didn't want to do. I can't believe I was even thinking it back then. But I was going to have to do something where, you know, my downline would never see me. So I thought in my young mind back then that I was going to go deliver newspapers at night just to make ends meet. After waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning to get to work to test this out the first two nights, and delivering papers from 2 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock in the morning, coming back home, sleeping for 2 or 3 hours, waking up to start building my USANA business again, and doing that for a couple of days in a row, that's when something really, really big in my life happened. My string just snapped. And that's when I started going into massive action in building my business. Things started exploding with growth after that because I decided that there was nothing that was going to stop me. I was going to do whatever it took to build my business. And that's when I started seeing that compound effect of persistence just go into action. And I ended up going from silver director to gold director to ruby director to emerald director to diamond director, all within a period of 14 months. And that was a massive jump in income from around $60,000-$70,000 a year up upwards of $350,000 a year in just a period of over 14 months. I remember prior to that, and another challenging time I'd had where I was so broke that I once ran out of gasoline, and thank the Lord I ended up coasting right into a gas station. And I remember I had a set of essentials that I ended up finding somebody to purchase, and I even sold it at half price because I was so desperate to get fuel in my tank so I could get to my next USANA appointment. But, you know, after that 14-month run to Diamond Director, I did whatever it took to help my team succeed. And whatever that took was things like a call like you're on tonight. I would do calls like this, and we did them regularly. And I want to encourage you to continue to plug into these conference calls. They are awesome. But the number one thing that I think I did to personally help my team was to not only help them grow and build their distributors, but I kept personally sponsoring new associates and customers. And I kept personally sponsoring and building and driving depth underneath them. I was driving down legs. You know, my first goal was to get them 10 people deep, and then eventually 20 people deep in every one of the legs I was growing. Once I was full-time, I was growing 4 and 5 different legs at a time in my USANA business, and that was just, I was in massive action mode. So there's a tip I'd really like to give you that if you follow this, you will literally see over the next 12 to 24 months your business go into explosive growth mode. And this is not just you know, maybe this will happen. This is something that absolutely, beyond any shadow of a doubt, will happen, and you will see your dreams happen with USANA, whether that's Gold Director, whether that's you know, Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, or you want to pass me up. You might have your tongue hanging out on the way because I'm planning on moving pretty fast in my business again. But you can do it if the sky's, you could say the sky's the limit, but there really is no limit. And this tip I can give you is about the power of attending destination events. I was told from the very beginning of my USANA career by my mentors that the single greatest common denominator of success for every associate that went on to become full-time in their USANA business from, gold, ruby, emerald, diamond, and up, was that they would do whatever it took, no matter what, to make it to international convention every single year. And then with 90-day goals incremented in between each international convention, and including at least 2 destination events in between international conventions, and setting goals in advance of every one of these events of how many people on my team was I going to bring to this next event. I measured, that was the greatest measuring tool I used in my business, was measuring from convention to convention, from annual international convention to annual international convention, and from each major event in between these destination events. So here's a little bit about what happened in my business because I did that. I joined USANA in August of 1998, and it took about 11 months to 12 months, actually 10 months until my first international convention. And I went to that event as a director in USANA. That year, besides Monica and I, we had a total of 3 other people. So there was a total of 5 of us, so 3 other people on our team, and 5 of us that went to that event. The 3 other people, I'll tell you now, one of them has been retired for years as a gold director. He's one of the highest. One of his dreams was to become a firefighter, and he's accomplished his dreams. And because of his USANA income, is one of the highest paid firefighters in San Antonio. The other one also became a gold director and beyond, and has just had an awesome income, since then. The third person became a USANA achiever and was mostly a product user, but he's been on auto shift ever since for almost 17 years now. So fast forward one more year. I built my business during that year and just did whatever I could to grow it, and promoted the international convention all year long at every training event, whatever I could do. But that next year, my business grew from 5 people attending international convention to 11 people, so it more than doubled. And now, even though only 11 people attended international convention, they were the ones that were serious. They were the ones that I knew were going to be the ones that I was going to pour the most time into. But it also that represented, quite a number of other people that maybe weren't so serious about their USANA business, but were kind of more customers, and that's okay because everybody has different goals. Some people are all their goals are they just want to be healthy, and that's great. We have the best products in the world for that. But it grew from 5 people to 11 people. Now that following year, year number 3 at international convention, it tripled from 11 to 33 people on my team attended international convention, and then it was that I had just. I think at that point in time was on my Ruby run at the time, and went from 33 people to year number 4, 134 people on my team attended international convention, and that actually equated out to over 1,000 different auto orders in my organization. Year number 5, it grew from 134 to 500 people on my team plus attending international convention, and then by year number 6 and beyond, I stopped measuring the total number of people in my organization attending because just the numbers that were coming from Mexico were such huge, crazy numbers. I didn't keep track of them any longer. I just have pretty much been keeping track of measuring those in project legs. So I'm still going through that process. So, one of the best tips I can give you is measuring your growth from event to event. For example, there's a national event coming up, and it actually happens to be here in San Antonio, Texas. It's going to be February 18th through the 20th. It's called Challenge U. And I know Jared probably has been promoting that with everybody on his team. And it doesn't matter whether you live in San Antonio or some other part of Texas or any other location across the United States, or even if you're calling in from another country. If this is one of the most amazing experiential events that will set your business on fire afterwards for what you're going to learn and experience at this event. And then let's see, after February, March, April, a couple months later after that, there's going to be the U.S. National Celebration in Las Vegas from April 13th to the 16th. So I'm promoting that all of the people on my team that want to really take their business and go to a full-time income over this next year, that they promote this Challenge You event, attend the Challenge You event, bring everybody on their team that they can to challenge you, and then use that as a springboard to advance their numbers the next following 8 weeks to those that are going to be attending the national celebration in April. Gosh, Jared, there's been so many. I mean, I know we're kind of running out of time, but I will just say that there's been so many amazing times in building my business. It's been so worth it. The time freedom that and the income that we've earned in building this business has allowed us to, build our first dream home. We've had, just luxury SUVs and sport cars and great material things, but it's also allowed for me to have the time freedom to pursue things that are really important to me in my life. I was very interested in building and growing and evangelizing for my church, and so I was able to really pour time into people and training and reaching people in that way as well, and serving in my community has been very, very important to me. I just really enjoy continuing to serve others. But now I can tell you that with all of these previous experiences that I've had in my life, the next 4 to 5 years, I plan on building my USANA business again. I've been in a retirement mode, which has been great. I was able to rest and recoup, and I've got huge, huge new dreams again. And one of those dreams, one of the many dreams I have is raising up a new huge wave of leaders globally that take their businesses to any height they want to grow, and that's going to include a lot of $1 million club members that have earned over $1 million in their business that at this point in time they still haven't even joined USANA yet. So the sky's the limit, and like I said earlier, there really is no limit, and I'm just excited. Jared, is there anything that you'd like to ask me that you think may end up helping anybody in your team?
Brian, yeah, there absolutely is. And first of all, I just want to thank you for an amazing story that you just told us. I mean, you basically in 20 minutes covered from your beginning stages, shared your challenges, shared your ups and downs, shared the vision, shared what exactly we need to do to take our business to the next level. And you just did it so eloquently. I just really, really feel blessed that you were on this call tonight with us. And I do want to get to some questions. I know we have a lot of people on this line that want to ask you some questions. And if you don't mind, could I just give everybody the dates of the events that you just promoted, and then we can transition into some questions?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. All right. Well, first of all, amazing content. I'm really fired up from what I was learning. I was taking notes, especially about the destination events and tracking the attendance at International Convention. These are some pictures of the event that Brian and the San Antonio team just hosted this past weekend with Dr. Alberto Pena. And it was just so great to have so many top earners, great people, wonderful friends at this event. We learned so much about our health and how to build a big, successful business. Here's Brian actually emceeing the event. And again, great job, Brian, and your team on putting this event together for the San Antonio market.
And thank you for being one of the speakers.
Oh, my pleasure. So I want to transition the team because I know we're right on the hour. And I just want to take a moment and give everybody the dates for the upcoming events, destination events, most importantly. So if you're watching right now, please pull out your calendar, and we're just going to do a quick 2 minutes on the upcoming events. So let's get ready for 2016. If you are a female and you are watching and you want to do a last-minute trip, this weekend is the Sweet Retreat, and that's actually Friday, January 15th and Saturday, January 16th. I'm so jealous of all my my ladies that are going to this. I want to learn from the top female leaders too, and I study a lot of the people that you're going to be learning from. My wife is going to this event. My mother is going to this event. My mother-in-law is going to this event, and several powerful women on our team. Here's the list of the people who are going so far. Viola Krebs, Crystal Krebs, Nora Lopez, Phyllis Walker, Andrea Hall, Lisa Hughes, Nisha Parker, Cece Bowman, Anissa Morgan, Victoria Horman, and Carolyn Humiston. Very exciting. I can't wait to hear all the stories next week out of the Sweet Retreat, learning from the top women leaders, top women doctors in the wellness industry and in USANA. If you want to go to this, please contact my mother right there, her phone number, or my wife, and we can get you some more information if you want to do a last-second trip and join the team out in Phoenix. And there's going to, it's only $85, by the way, for your ticket for this 2-day event. It's a total no-brainer. And we can get you roommates, no big deal. I don't know if there's hotel room blocks available, but there's always a roommate, so we can always work that out. And there's actually a bonus event, but wait, there's more. Sunday of the Sweet Retreat is a bonus event featuring Grace Keohoho, who is the founder of the Direct Selling World Alliance. She has transformed our business by teaching me how to become, well, teaching not me, but just our entire team how to do coaching and how to have accountability and honor with your team members. Literally, I have seen our business grow into a solid 6-figure income because of what I've learned from Grace and implementing those things on coaching. It's only $99 for that additional day, and that's on Sunday. If you're going to be out in Phoenix, may as well go to it because you're going to learn some things that's going to benefit you for a lifetime. And that's you can register at that link there, sweet.teamdsi.info, for that additional $99. So that's a Sweet Retreat. I can't wait for you ladies to come back and tell us all kinds of great stories. And now it's time for the 3 big events in 2016. So if you're writing this down, write down Las Vegas in April, Salt Lake City in August, and Las Vegas in December. So here we go. Here's the dates. Las Vegas in April is the U.S. National Celebration and Awards Gala Dinner. That's Friday, April 15th and Saturday, April 16th. So it's a 2-day event. And it's going to be at the Green Valley Ranch Resort and Spa. Look at that beautiful place. It's just tremendously beautiful. I can't wait to spend the weekend there. And the actual itinerary is right here. It's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. general session. You're going to be learning from the best United States leaders. It's going to be very exciting. There's going to be a gala reception where we're just all visiting, and that's where some of the best conversations happen, is at the reception, because you're visiting with people all over the United States, the top leaders and associates. And then there's going to be an awards gala dinner complete with I think it's like a 3 or 4 course meal from 7:15 to 10:15 that night. So the Saturday event is going to be also 9 a.m. to 12:30. There'll be a lunch break, and then 2 to 5. So that'll be the Saturday itinerary. Then here's a picture of us last year's national event. And it was cool, all eating together, being together, just learning so much and having such a great experience. So come celebrate with us. Come celebrate your success in the United States market and learn from the best people and invest in your education. Las Vegas is always a tremendous event. The price on that is $90 for your 2-day event pass. Now, if you are a brand new associate, you may have a voucher that will get you in for free. So make sure you ask your mentor in USANA, or even you can call the customer service line and see if you have a voucher. And then the awards gala dinner is $49 a person. And please contact myself or my parents because we have tables of 10. So if you want to sit at our table, you can. And it's $49 for the gala dinner. So that's how you should budget for that. You may be asking where in Las Vegas. This is just a little map of Las Vegas. On the top left is the airport, and it's about 10 minutes from the airport, which is also about 10 minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. So if you want, you could even stay at a little cheaper of a hotel off the Strip and take a taxi in. Either way, if you want to stay on site, the place is beautiful. They have an 8-acre pool complex. The phone number is right here on this slide. If you want to screenshot it, it's 702. The phone number is 702-617-7777. It's $150 a night plus the resort fee, so it'll be about $200 probably a night total if you want to do that. There's also a coupon code, which that is the discounted price. So make sure you use the coupon code there, GCIUSAN. Okay, so that is Las Vegas. That's all the information you need. Now we're going to talk about the most important event of the calendar year, which is Salt Lake City in August. Now, Brian was mentioning how important International Convention is. And here are the dates. Mark them in your calendar right now, even though it's 8 months out, August 24th through the 27th, USANA's 2016 International Convention. It's in Salt Lake City, Utah. Why is it there? Because that's where USANA headquarters is located. And it's not national, it's international. So people from all the 23 different countries actually fly in. We take over downtown. It's all USANA associates. It is a cultural experience, a life-changing experience. Dr. Oz has spoken at our last 4 international conventions. You hear from Dr. Wentz, our founder, all the top doctors in wellness, all the top $1 Million Club members. They all have this one thing in common. If you want to be at the gold director or above level, a full-time associate, you have to go to convention. It's non-negotiable. Please do whatever you can to get those days off and plan for this event. And it's the most important event of the year. Look at our team. Look at this big list of people who have already registered in advance, 1 year in advance. I'm proud of each and every one of you. If you want to be on this list, contact me and we can make sure you get registered. You may have vouchers if you're a brand new associate to get in for free or at a 50% off rate. Okay, and then lastly, Las Vegas in December. So why do they do these events every 3 months or so? Because you need to get your batteries recharged every 3 months or so. That's just how it is. And it makes such a huge difference. And this event is special because it's a non-USANA event. It's called GoPro Recruiting Mastery. And it takes the very best of our entire industry and puts them in one room. That's not just USANA, but all companies. And it's all about how can you build the best home business possible. It's hosted by Eric Worre, who's Mr. GoPro himself. We all read his book and study his strategies and apply those every day. Look at the special guests: Anthony Robbins, Sir Richard Branson. I mean, we're talking about legends in business and motivation. The only people they allow on stage are people who are making currently 6 figures per month. Not 6 figures per year, 6 figures per month. So again, if you want to learn from the best in our industry, plan on going to Vegas December 1st through the 4th, 2016. Okay, so those are our 3 big events. Convention's the most important, but really, if it was me, I would be doing everything I could to attend all the 3 big events throughout the year. We even have people already registered a year in advance for their GoPro event. So again, really awesome. I can't wait to do all these events with you guys. Lastly, there's a bonus trip. Okay, so now the bonus trip, this is like a vacation. This is like something you can win. And I just want to tell you about it because you can win it. We won it last year. I know Brian's won many of these incentive trips. And you can win it entirely, where it's completely paid for by USANA. Or you can win it partially, where USANA pays for most of it. And I'll show you how it all works. Or you could pay for it yourself. You could just pay your own way and join the USANA family. So you don't have to win it. You could just go as well. But this is, you say, when and where is this big trip? Well, it's in Costa Rica, the Costa Rica Westin Golf Resort and Spa, November 16th through the 20th. Talk about dream vacation. This is going to be an incredible trip. November 16th through the 20th. And it's in Costa Rica. That's where you're going to be. That's an overview of the Westin. Imagine hanging out with all the top USANA elite people who won the trip and who went on the trip, drinking pina coladas and asking them about their business and strategies, making friends, making relationships that last a lifetime. I can't wait for this trip. I want to see you there in Costa Rica with us. And you might be wondering, well, how can I win this trip? Like, what do you actually have to do to win the trip? If you'd like to golf, I mean, it's a beautiful golf course there, right on the ocean view. So again, those are the dates, November 16th through the 20th. And how exactly can I win this is probably what you're asking. It's called Success on the Beach. Well, if you're wondering, all you got to do is go watch this video. It's called costarica.teamdsi.info. It's a 12-minute video. It's going to explain exactly how you can win this trip. Basically, it's all about the growth that you do from your prior fiscal year to this fiscal year. And all the details are in this little video. But again, it's costarica.teamdsi.info. And we want to see you there in Costa Rica as well. You Texas associates, prepare for January and February right now. This Wednesday, January 13th, at the home of Renee and Megan Martinez, we're going to be having a Reset Challenge party. That's in Pleasanton, Texas. It's about 40 minutes south of San Antonio. If you're going to attend, please RSVP to Renee's number right there. It's listed at the bottom left. And then if you're in the San Antonio area, we're having an event this Saturday, Reset Challenge Party at the Country Hollow Clubhouse. And my phone number is actually the RSVP on this event. And that's in San Antonio this Saturday, 12:30 to 2 p.m. And then Challenge U. Brian was mentioning Challenge U. This is really for anyone in the Texas area, about 6 hours driving distance. This event is going to warm you up for Las Vegas. It's 2-day intensive training, learning from all six-figure earners or $1 Million Club members. And it is just a tremendous, tremendous training, especially considering that most destination events cost, upwards of $1,000 after you add the flight, you add the hotel, you add all this cost. Well, Challenge U is only $109 and it's in your backyard. You don't have to fly. You don't have to stay at a hotel. It's going to be held at La Quinta Riverwalk, but if you're in San Antonio, you can certainly drive to that. Even if you're long distance, you could stay at a cheaper hotel. But the point is, you're going to get a world-class 2-day training. You in San Antonio, you got to go to this. And then there's also an opportunity presentation February 18th at 7:30. So that's going to be for guests and associates on Thursday night. But the training is all day, February 19th and 20th. There's going to be a limo dinner contest for those of you who want to go on an exclusive limo dinner with the top people in San Antonio. All you have to do is get 15 points, which is basically like enrolling 15 preferred customers or 5 associates or a combination thereof. And you have till February 12th, so you still have a month to win this. Please contact myself or any of your USANA mentors that can explain this to you. But this is going to be a fun trip. Limo dinner. I love doing the limo dinners. This is a great idea. And kudos to Brian Penrod and all the Challenge U people that are putting this on. We're very grateful and excited for this event. Utah associates, if you're in Utah, prepare right now because this Thursday is going to be a Health and Freedom featuring executive gold directors. Actually, I believe this Thursday is going to feature bronze director Justin Hess, who's done a phenomenal job in his first year in USANA. You definitely want to learn from them, Justin and his wife. And this is every Thursday night in Utah. So the speakers rotate, but if you're in Utah, this is the place to be Thursday at 7 p.m. If you're in Utah, also Tuesday, January 19th is their New You kickoff, which we had in San Antonio. It was amazing. This is being hosted by executive gold directors Randy and Viola Krebs. It's going to be an amazing event. It's going to feature the speakers listed right there: Marshall Manley, Austin Weiniger, and Justin Hess. People you want to learn from and emulate who are doing big things in the company. If you need Dr. Ladd McNamara CDs, these CDs make a huge difference in your success, your prospects. My prospects listen to these and love it. This is really the CD that helps people believe in the product because of all the amazing stories. If you need CDs, go to laddmcnamara.com. If you're in San Antonio, you can contact me, get a 10-pack for $25 or a 20-pack because I buy them in bulk. Or if you're in Utah, you can get some from my parents. Again, 10-pack or 20-pack, or you can just order them online if you're long distance. And lastly, I want to encourage you to be prepared. This is the bins of the trunk of my car, and I always show these because I have plenty of GoPro books, GoPro audios, Dr. Ladd CDs, USANA newspapers. I am ready at all times to share USANA with somebody. And if you want to make a professional level of income, you got to go pro. You have to be prepared. So I want to encourage you all to be prepared, play at the highest level. Of course, this is our DMO. We've already gone over this. Just to remind you, did you get in state? Did you read your goals and visualize your dreams? Did you use the products? Did you read, watch, or listen to 15 minutes of personal development material? And did you send out those 2 brand new texts or calls. And I've only sent out one. So after this webinar, I'm going to go on and send out one more so I can invite my 2 today and do my compound effect. I want to encourage you to send out those 2 texts. Again, this is what we like to say. The company I work with, part-time, came out with a 12-minute video, YouTube video. We need to practice it on some friends. Would you be willing to watch it and let me call you afterwards to ask a few questions? So that is the DMO. We're going to end with some questions or comments from tonight's speaker, Mr. Brian Penrod. I'm going to bring him back on the line. My father, Randy Krebs, is producing this webinar. Big thanks to you, Dad. And I'm going to let you, I guess, field the questions for Brian because I am unable to see all the attendees. And Brian, are you back on the line? Are you there, Brian? Or Dad, are you able to unmute him?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. So I just want to start off with the first quick question, Brian. And I just want to ask, like, for me, creating a gold director, like helping a new person go from 0 to gold, you know, I haven't done that since my parents enrolled. So I need to get better at that. What tips do you have that I could use to help some of my team members, even one of my team members, like mentor them into a gold directorship?
Well, I believe that without any shadow of a doubt that you have quite a number of gold directors and above right now on your team, and I think that you believe the same thing. They're already in your organization. Now, what it's going to be about is obviously mentoring them to get to where they have that gold director and above income. One of the things that I do is I go back to the basic measurements of and some of the statistics of their business. One of the things I'll do is I'll look at their current auto orders, and then based off of the goals that they have for this year by the end of 2016, I'll ask them, number one, what are their goals for this year? And I am trying to determine, when I do this, who exactly on my team is ready to do that. And whoever that happens to be, that may be a certain number of people in your organization that their goal 2016 by the end of this year is to become that gold director. I may have, and I've done this before several times, I've had an accountability meeting with them. And if obviously some of those people are going to be outside of our local city of San Antonio, so that happens to be a conference call where you're possibly training on advanced topics that they need to become proficient in. And really the advanced levels of building this business are largely about mastering the basics in this business. And so another key number that I'll look at is how many people they had at the last major event that the company held or that you or your team sponsored, the last major event, kind of like a U.S. national event or a USANA international convention, and then set the goals for how many people that they want to have for that event. And then retweaking basically how certain aspects of how they may be building their current business and analyzing whether, what the numbers, basically what part of their business, of building their business needs to increase or to change, or analyzing what skill it is that they need to master. And you know what? Oftentimes I found that it actually is in the area of promotion. Sometimes it's in the area of closing. Sometimes it's in the area of getting somebody started right. Sometimes it's in a leadership characteristic of casting vision. So first of all, catching the vision, and then second of all, being able to cast the vision of what's possible to their own particular team members of what's possible for them. So those are just a few of them, and sometimes it happens to be in personal development, a specific area that they need to work on.
Okay, so what I hear you saying for me is doing accountability, mentorship, consistently, helping them tweak, and finding any weak spots, helping them strengthen those. Basic.
And you know what?
Mentorship.
Another major one I just remembered that I do and will continue to do with my leaders is, and I learned this from the number one network marketer of all time, and that happens to be a guy by the name of Dexter Yeager. And when he trained his top leaders, and he continues to train his top leaders in his company, he doesn't even go through any training whatsoever. What he does is he takes them on massive, just incredible dream building sessions.
Go ahead. Go on.
That may be different for each person based off of what their goals are, but exposing them, if it happens to be, for example, their first home, for an example, one of many, many, many different things. He may take them on a tour, a parade of homes, and it may be, $500,000 plus or even multi-million-dollar homes, and just being able to see it, touch it, smell it, and for each different person, something else may be what gets them excited about building their business. I remember at one point in time, it happened to be for me a Cadillac Escalade when those first came out, and so my upline exposed me to a Cadillac Escalade. I got to drive it. I got to smell the leather. I got to taste it, feel it, touch it, and that happened to be my very, very first dream vehicle back in the days. And so that was enough. That was enough to get me super, super motivated to move on and then go on that Ruby, Emerald, Diamond run.
Wow. Okay, that's great, Brian. Thank you for adding that in, because I think that's something that I definitely have not done. I'm going to do now. And I really appreciate your insight. It's really good to hear how you've developed leaders, because you've developed some amazing leaders. All right, so we have some questions now. We have someone in, this is Catherine Lord, and she's actually in Kelso, Washington, Brian. Catherine is one of our best team members, one of our most consistent. She has a great business growing. And my dad's about to unmute her line. And Catherine, are you there? Do you have a question for Mr. Penrod?
Yes, I am. First, thank you, Brian and Jared, for having Brian. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you.
I sure can.
Okay, great. Brian, I have a question about international businesses, because I'm actually going to Bali and wondering about how do you, you mentioned that you have the international business in Mexico, which is much closer than Bali. But anyway, do you think it's wise to, I'm a builder. I've been in USANA for a year. And so I'm wondering, is it wise to try to start a business so far away?
Sure it is. Now, think about it this way. While you're in Bali, and while you're on the destination to Bali, and while you're on the destination home from Bali, you may develop prospects in any of those situations. And absolutely, no matter where I am, now, honestly, I don't know if USANA I don't remember is Bali actually, Jared, do you remember if that's an area that USANA is officially open for business?
I actually don't remember.
It's Indonesia.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is Indonesia, isn't it? So yeah, you're good to go on that. But here's the thing to keep in mind: building internationally can be extremely expensive. If you're planning to do repeat trips, obviously out there, so that's one consideration to take into account. Now, when I first began building internationally, we didn't have even near the online capability that we have like today with webinars and just all of the different aspects of how we can build the business. So I don't want to discourage you, but I did hear a top leader when I was new say that if you're going to launch a new country, and you're really going to go actually spend time with them and invest in them, you're really looking at a pretty large expense. $75,000, $100,000 dollars. Who knows? There's no way to know. But I do want to encourage you that you never know. So you never know what's going to happen. So prospect people on the way there, while you're there, and on the way home. And if you're going to be building, potentially going to Indonesia, and how long is it going to be from that you're going to have a trip there?
We're going to be there for 15 days, and then we're actually going to Singapore as well.
Okay, so maybe what I would do is how long is it going to be until you take that trip? How much time do you have before we go?
I'm leaving on the 4th of February.
Okay, so I would do whatever I could to find out if there were any local Indonesians or those from Singapore that may have a chamber of commerce in your area that they may be participating in. Find out who they are, and find out if they have contacts in those countries, because it just may so happen that they become excited about the fact that you're going to be going there, and they may be interested in providing you some contacts while you're there. So, yeah, you never know. When we were going to launch Hong Kong, for an example, I found out about the local Hong Kong Chinese Chamber of Commerce in my city, and in another area that was about an hour drive from here, and I contacted them, and that didn't end up working out in that particular scenario situation, but I was able to build a local Chinese team at the time because of that contact, because I was excited about that country opening. So you just never know what's going to happen, but definitely go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Great idea. I will do that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I appreciate your help.
All right, Brian, we have one last question here. This is from my mother, Executive Gold Director Viola Krebs. And Mom, are you on the line? Do not hear you, Mom.
She's unmuted, Viola. Uh-oh. Yeah, she's home with the iPad. I just hope she talked through it. You there, Viola?
You able to unmute yourself? Does anyone else have a question? Basically, final question or second to last question. Raise your hand on the webinar and my dad can unmute you. One last time, Mom, Viola Krebs. Dang it. Well, I think we're going to, Dad, do we have anyone else who's raised their hand?
No, it doesn't look like it.
Okay. I know we still have the majority of people on. We normally end our webinars at 9 o'clock, but this was so good that everybody stayed on. I'm real excited about the recording that we're going to make. Brian will send you a link. This will be a YouTube video so that you can share your story if you'd like with anybody. And obviously, we'll be able to get this out to anyone who missed the webinar. But I learned so much personally from hearing your story, Brian. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. I know you're very busy with your two sons and building your business. So we really appreciate that you took the time out to support us tonight. And thank you again for all you do for us.
Jared. Jared.
Thank you, Jared.
Jared.
Yes, Dad.
I got Mom on the line here. She's ready to talk.
Okay, go ahead, Mom.
Is Brian still there?
Yes.
Hi, is Brian still there?
Yes, he is.
Okay, now am I supposed to be talking on my phone or on the computer?
On the phone.
Oh, okay, let me get away from the computer because I'm hearing double.
Okay.
Brian, thank you so much. I'm always so inspired by your story.
Well, thank you. It was worth it.
You know, I know that you are that personal development been a big part of your growth and has really maintained and kept you in business, basically. But I was just curious, do you have a professional personal business coach that mentors you today, like on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, or do you have something like that set up? I just wondered what your feelings on that are, because we're kind of thinking about doing that, and I just wondered what your feelings are on that.
Okay, so I don't personally right now, and I don't really have any plans to personally. What I am continuing to do, though, is I'm continuing to look at, and I'm actually, over the last few weeks, have been increasing this substantially, is looking at a couple of, actually several of the top leaders in USANA, as well as other top leaders in the industry, and I'm learning from them. And the reason why I haven't gone the route of a personal business coach is it has to do with I want to learn from people that are successful in doing what I'm already doing, that are more successful than me in doing what I'm already doing. And I've just found personally, and this has just been my experience, it may not be yours, but my experience has shown me that sometimes professional coaches actually end up, if you don't have the right one, taking people off track and not necessarily helping them with exactly what it really is that they need to do to build their own business. Now, it just depends on who that coach is, though. I mean, I can't say that's going to be the case with all coaches, but that's just been my experience. I'm choosing personally to go with the people that have already accomplished what it is that I want to accomplish in this industry specifically, and those are the only ones that I'm choosing at this point in time to follow.
Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Because if they haven't done it in this industry, I just kind of feel like, then why would I want to take their advice? It's just, to me, it's basic. Now, that doesn't mean there's some people that, I've got a leader in my business. If you take Brian Morris, for example, he went to a personal development coach at one point in time because he had to completely change his image because he had he when he first came on board in the business, he was really rough around the edges with regard to how he communicated with people, and that was one area. So it was a specific area that he was focused on already, and that's why he sought out the best people in that industry to help him. So just another way to look at it, though. So, and that was successful for him. So take what I said for what it's worth.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Brian.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. Again, Brian, we really, really appreciate your time. Thank you for answering each question in depth. Thank you for all your experience and sharing it and spending that extra pretty much 40 minutes with us on this call, because I know it's very, very valuable to all of us. That's why so many people have stayed on. And again, thank you. And please let me know when I can do something like this for your team, and look forward to seeing you continue to grow in the company.
All right, thanks, Jared. Looking forward to it too, buddy. You're on your way to the $1 Million Club yourself. I already can see that.
Awesome.
Y'all have an awesome week. Take care.
Thank you. All right, everybody. This is going to conclude our webinar. We're going to unmute the lines, and everybody say good night. Everybody say
Good night.
everyone.
Good night, Brian. Thank you.
Good night, and God bless.
All right, God bless.